Welcome. I'm Alice, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. Today, we're going to examine two of the lesser known clairs. These are often totally skirted by people, but yet they're very powerful and in helping you develop your intuitive senses in as well as your psychic senses. I'll give you a few examples of a few exercises that you can do at the end of the video. First of all, by way of explanation, the two that are covered today are clairgustance, and the second one is clairsalience. Clairgustance is clear tasting, and my belief is that one of the reasons that people are so conscious of being gluten free versus not gluten free, having no allergies to gluten, is the ability of clair gustance, the clear tasting. They have the sense that when they taste a product that contains whatever it is that they're allergic to, that it is harmful to them. Some absolutely do not know that this happened to them, that it was an allergic reaction until they went into the hospital because of it. One of my dear friends tells me that as a child, she was highly allergic to peanuts and and I guess various nuts, not others. So some, not others. And but peanuts was absolutely a no-no. So as she grew older, I think she was in her 20s, um, newly married, and they went to a party, and of course there was a bowl of peanuts, which is pretty common little snack that is served by a lot of guests. And she thought, oh, this can't hurt me. And she took one. And the next time she opened her eyes, she was in a hospital room. She apparently had passed out, immediately started going into some kind of convulsive behavior. And so, peanut allergies is not something to fool with. She has since found out that she's allergic to various fruits, various vegetables, um, seeds in some cases. So she really has to be super, super careful. Clear gustance has shown up in my life when I think back on some of the memories from childhood and some of the things my mother made specifically, not always just for holidays. In one case, uh, we lived on the west side from the time I was in the fifth grade, and there was a park close by, well, within 5 short blocks, called John Ball Park. And I haven't been there in, I don't know, maybe 40 years, maybe 50. So I know that it has changed dramatically, but there was a duck pond there. And of course, in the winter, that was a favorite place for us to go skating. So from the time I was in the fifth grade, we went skating after school by ourselves, walking through 5 blocks of, well, yes, the streets were lit, but the park wasn't. And so that was pretty dark. But there was never a thought given to our safety. Absolutely none. We did it by ourselves. We walked by ourselves. Many, many times when I came home from an outing, my mother would have a cobbler, a peach cobbler. And not only would the fragrance of the spices and the peaches fill the air, but uh, Mm, so that would be clairsalience, but the taste, the magnificent taste of the sauce that she put over the cobbler that made it super hot. So she kept the sauce hot until I got home and took a piece and then ladled the sauce over the cobbler. I absolutely remember those times without I can bring back the flavor of that. Certain dishes she made, a lot of times what we call comfort food, is there because of the fact that we had it in childhood and we had our fill of it. There was never any fear of running out. It seemed, so to leave you hungry. Uh, well, that wasn't an issue in our home anyway. We may have been, we may have done without a lot of things, but we always had enough food and delicious food at that. So um, the smells of baking filled the our home at least once a week, and the smells of cooking filled it every single day. So that's clair salience. So um, one of the things, just getting back to clair gustance, one of the things that you can do to increase your sense of this is to recall a scent, and it doesn't matter if it you like it or you don't like it. It could be the scent of cigarette butts in ashtrays, because again, when I was growing up, every home provided ashtrays for anybody who smoked. Smoking inside the home was just considered normal. Nobody ever felt that they had to go outside to smoke. But that smell of those cigarette butts in the ashtray can bring either to mind family gatherings that were joyous or family gatherings that were not, or friend gatherings that were harmonious and beneficial or not. So you can practice having the sense of that smell come back to you and see if somehow or other somebody doesn't show up in your life, either through a Facebook post, through a phone call, through uh, nobody really writes letters anymore, but could be an email response from or a text response from that person. And you can kind of test yourself to see if that happens or whether you get a phone call, on your cell phone. So that gives you a way to see if this sense of clairgustance is something you can develop more in your life. Clairsalience, clear smelling. Again, very little known, but I'm going to go back 42 years when I first brought my newborn baby to my father's home. And the very first day that I went into the bathroom, the scent of my mother's perfume in that bathroom was overwhelming, and it permeated the air so completely. I literally practically tore that bathroom apart looking for the source of that without realizing 42 years ago that this is what I was smelling. I was smelling her scent, but she sent it to me in spirit to let me know that she was okay. The night before, I had a glimpse of her running down the hall. She was always in a hurry. She always seemed to be in a hurry, except when she sat down in an easy chair and closed her eyes and then promptly fell asleep. But, other than that, she always seemed to be in a hurry. So it was just beautiful when I think back that this was her confirmation to me that I am okay. And because it was about 6 months. She died 11 days before my baby was born. So you can imagine how, what a crisis point that was in my life, and, how agitated the baby was in my womb. And so, but, anyway, that's one of those stories that, obviously I had signed up for, and there was a lesson in there for me. And I truly believe it was how to contain grief. It was a lesson in grief management because I couldn't grieve my mother properly or at all when I looked over and saw this beautiful, shining eyed baby staring at me, laughing, cooing, uh, just just beaming her light through her eyes. So it made the saddest time in my life one of the most joyous. At the same time, one of the most joyous times in my life. So think about if you also want to increase your clairsalience, your clear smelling. Think about the times where you identified with the sense that either could be either or made you happy or repulsed you. Like I said, it could be cigarettes in an ashtray, could be the smell of a warehouse just going and that really dry odor of a warehouse. Uh, the I feel some of the again the happiest moments of my life were always related to cooking and baking in my family home. So I absolutely loved my mother's uh, baking her Polish specialties, uh, pierogi, which is the same name for a little boiled dumpling as it is for a baked. Um, it can be a baked roll, poppy seed roll. It can be a baked individual, what they call babkas, which are um, egg bread with raisins. And my mother absolutely was the just a mecca of energy. She All I kept thinking of is as much energy as I have, she seems to run rings around me. And I know now that she pushed herself. It didn't matter. She never gave in to her illness the last year of her life after she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and was told she had 1 to 3 years to live. She lived almost to the day of 1 year. And she continued to push herself and push herself and push herself. But it, I always associate anytime I go near a bakery, I associate that with her because it doesn't matter whether it's a smell of breads, cookies, uh, whatever is coming from that bakery, that odor takes me back literally to my childhood and my mother baking her specialties, her Polish specialties. My dad's special scent was Old Spice. Have I smelled that? Mm, not sure. Can't honestly say that I have. I thought I did shortly after he died, but not nearly as strong as I sense my mother's, hers. So again, you can develop these gifts. Think of a memory that contains this and see if you can't bring the exact same smell into mind. And or if you associate a particular smell with a particular favorite person in your life, doesn't matter whether it's a relative, a family member, a friend, a colleague, but if you associate a particular smell, it could be the scent of snow falling, it could be the scent of the rain and the fresh earth as soon as the rain stops. Scents are all around us, but we hardly pay attention. So we're going to just ask that you recognize and appreciate what it is that is available to you through your extra sensory perception. And for me, it's not extra. There's nothing extra about it. It's just sensory perception and something that I bring forward because I can. So I wish you adieu. I am ever so grateful that you're here, and I will see you next week, Friday, at a, at 1 o'clock. I apologize for being a little bit late. And again, if you are fond of meditation, the best meditation book on the market is Own Your Power Day by Day. 750 pages. You read 2 pages a day. So it takes you a year to get through that. And from now until December 31st, the special that I'm running is $20 for the book, and shipping and handling is included. So, if even if you've been thinking of it or maybe thinking of purchasing it for a friend, this is a great time to buy it. And one of the things I love about it, not only is the cover magical, but it also has a gold embossed um, letters on a navy blue background. My website is www.aliciajones.com. ALICJA Jones.com. aliciajones.com. And I also have the list of other services that I offer. So thank you for being here. Let's see, Susan, uh, Mark, Noelle, Lisa, another Lisa, another a thing from Mark, another thing. So absolutely adore having you. And until next time, I will see you again. Thank you. Bye now.